Well, welcome to another adventure. There's Andy. Hi, Andy. That is awesome. We're starting a trip with a peregrine falcon flying over us. That's awesome. Good sign. We are at Bon Echo Provincial Park in Southeastern Ontario. We started at Bon Echo Provincial Park on Mazinaw Lake, and we're along the cliff face. Oh, and there's our first paintings. Look at this. We just passed some more paintings, right past the Walt Whitman Memorial, one of his passages from his poems, and cool. Ducks flying over his peregrine falcons, cliff faces, memorials, native paintings. It's alive with history on the Mississippi River. We're heading across Mazinaw Lake. This is the beginning of the Mississippi River in Ontario. We have a Mississippi River as well. Yes, the Algonquin people, they called it Pictured Waters for that reason, what you just saw. When they got here over 300 years ago, there was paintings here before them. So some are dated back to over 1,000 years old. And I believe that's the largest collection of native paintings in Canada or North America. There's lots of other places, but this is one of the major ones. So we're heading across Mazinaw Lake, one of the deepest lakes in this area. I think it's 150 feet deep. Lots of monsters living underneath this, Andy. Lots of monsters. And yeah, we're going down the Mississippi River. It's 200 kilometers long. We're taking 8 days, and it's an adventure because, well, it was the first recreational canoe route that was documented by the Canadian government on a pamphlet in 1910. 1910. I mean, obviously people followed it before that, especially the First Nations people, but it was a documented recreational canoe route. It still is a documented recreational canoe route. If you go to Mississippi Valley Conservation Authority's website, they actually have the old pamphlet that was made up probably in the 60s or 70s on their site. The tourism in this area, their website has it on there as well. But I went around asking people, you know, who canoes this full length of the river, and nobody. They do a lot of day trips on it, but I would say I found 4 people in the last 3 months that actually had done it, but back in the 70s and 80s. So it's not a common full river to do, and no, it's not because of the length. It's not because of the rapids. It's not because of the portages. I mean, there's several portages, I think 32 in total. It's because there's some landowner disputes. Some of the portages are owned now by landowners. So the question is, can you still do it? Well, Andy and I think we could. We can. So we're going to. And why? Because in 1882, there was a lumber baron, and he was the first to put sluiceways and along the upper part of the river, meaning to ways for his logs to be flushed. Another lumber baron, his rival, went to use them. And he goes, "You can't do that. You can't use those. Those are mine. I built those." And he goes, "Who gives you the right to own the river?" And it went to court. It went to provincial court, federal court, back and forth. And in 1882, the second gentleman that did not build the sluiceway, he won. And it was created the Navigable Waters Act of Canada was created after that. And what it stated, it still states, is that if a vessel, that being a canoe, can float down that that body of water, that being the river, therefore it's a navigable water. And therefore everybody owns the river, not one individual. Interesting. Well, this is a good sign. Very first portage, there's a trail. Trees have been cut long ago, but they've been cut. 40 meters around the dam. Gotta love that. Andy.
I fell out.
Our first day, we're walking the river, Andy. Water's cold in June. Oh. What do you think of the trip so far, Andy?
This is the best trip ever, Kevin.
Oh. Bugs aren't bad. Lots of water in the river. Oh.
This is exactly what we hoped for.
Okay, we can't seem to find Portage 2. Water is really low here. And I hope it's because of that dam and things improved downstream. But we were walking this river most of the day, so. Why it's called Marble Lake coming up. See that white rock? That's marble. Beautiful. Whew.
Okay.
I hear the distant call of a chainsaw. What do you think of the river so far?
Well, that's just me snoring tonight. And
Yeah, we're going to sleep well tonight. We're on the second one. The portage is supposed to be 80 meters on to the right, and we saw the beginning of it, but I think that storm that hit last year, I think a lot of these trees are down from that.
yeah.
So we're making our way. Okay, portage number 3 of the day. Right now the water's so low we can't run that. So I took the portage to the left. The old pamphlet, government pamphlet, says it's on the right and you line it. I cannot see you doing that. But there's a clear trail on the left. I think this is where I was back in the early 90s. I was going to do this trip. And I got to this point. There was barbed wire across here where I'm standing. No trespassing signs. And then I was told when I phoned the conservation authority at the time, they said, well, you can't go there, it's private property, you'll have to go down the road for about a kilometer and a half. And I didn't do that. I went to Cash Lake, did the loop, and never went down the Mississippi. But you see no barbed wire. There's signs right behind me saying no trespassing, but not right here on the portage. And yes, I just fell completely in the water, like a turtle. I was about to put my rain jacket on because it's raining and I'm soaked. It doesn't matter anymore. Whew. Okay, one more portage, rapid to go. Then we get to Cash Lake. I booked myself a campsite on that, and it's North Frontenac Parklands, which used to be, well, it still is Crown land, but now it's owned by the municipality, and you book sites, which is fine by me, because I know I have a site when I get there. I went for a swim, Andy.
Oh no.
Full turtle.
Oh, poor bastard. Don't you hate that when that happens? Help me.
Well, we got our last portage of the day. It's up and over a hill, 20 meters. So we're just gonna line down or rope down this. Andy, you got to use your rope bag. Are you excited?
Very, very excited. I don't know what to do.
I gotta put this away. I gotta give him a hand. Well, we found our campsite on Kashwakamak Lake, Cash Lake, number 5. We're on number 5 tonight, and yeah, and look what's joining us. A number of these things.
Snacks. You don't like those?
No,
What's wrong with them?
they look scary.
Too many legs?
Yeah. Rod Stewart in my head. Hot legs! Yeah, there's quite a few of them. I would say not the greatest sight. The photo, it looked good. But we're here. And there's a fire ban, so no fire.
And it's raining.
And it's raining, but I fell in the water today, so I'm wet anyway.
No worries.
My underwear's still wet.
Can you prove it?
Wait a minute. Oh, look, a dead one.
Yes. Your favorite kind.
Oh, Andy, they're
There's
everywhere.
another one. That one looks alive.
What is? What? Oh.
A weapon for battle. Yes. Kill. Yeah, buggy, 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 buggy.
Pee on it. Pee on it.
Okay. Oh, I hear one. Die. Die! Come to Papa.
It's a serious trip. It's a pure adventure.
Yes.
Hardship everywhere.
Here. Cover me.
And then I see Johnny, and I see, what's that show? Where she looked into the, as a kid. And I was all upset she never chose my name every time
No?
I'd watch it.
Never saw Kevin.
No, it was Kathy, Sam, never, hi Kevin.
Early one morning, before the mosquitoes were buzzing, Kevin grabbed his magic wand and made them go away. He zapped them furiously. They fell on the ground before me. I was making this song up as I went along.
You missed your calling.
Thank you.
And you got this thing too. What's that?
It's a thermocell. Our good neighbor Doug gave us this as a gift. Thank you, Doug. It basically heats up this pad, which emits mosquito aversion fumes that the mosquitoes run away.
Yeah, well, I'll try everything.
Yeah.
Life is a highway.
A box of chocolates highway.
Box of chocolates. Right.
Put your tongue out.
Aww. I'll use the old-fashioned. Oh! All right, night one dinner. We've just started or finished conversing about Monty Python, Life of Brian.
Oh, I have a very good friend in Rome, you know.
What was the scene though you told me about that you when you're going through training, you put your
going through school, and instead of putting my name Andy on my name tag, I put on Loretta. I want to be called Loretta.
That was a very progressive scene at the time.
There you go. It's like, doesn't matter. Gender is not defined by how you're born. I guess it's more than that.
All right, what are we cooking?
We got some marinated chicken. You know, I actually remembered that word.
Marinated?
Yeah.
You always forget marinated?
Don't you remember that when we went to
That's right.
what trip was that? In north of Killarney or something like that?
Marinated, yeah.
And I'm like cooking, and I'm like, oh dear, it's burning. And I'm like distracted. He's like, what do you got there, Andy? I'm like, It was pretty good. You flashed the word marinated.
Oh, that's good. You know, the rest of the meals are all dehydrated, so.
So it's all downhill.
Yeah, it is downhill.
Oh, wow.
Oh no, tomorrow night we got ham steaks. We're good. Yep.
Lovely.
Yep.
Lovely.
And you got an old stove. You got a classic stove.
This is actually pretty new. I think this is, yeah. They used to make this stove, and then they had some problems with it, and I think they redeveloped it and sold it in the States again.
Oh, okay, because your old stove I used to call the holy hand grenade.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, they did have some nasty problems. Fortunately, I never did, but yeah.
All right. Well, white gas stove.
Yep.
Yep.
The old Coleman classic.
So look at that. And you're a classic.
I'm old.
How'd you feel today? It was really quite funny when I realized I was lining down the rapids and you weren't with me anymore.
Like, well, if you can go ahead, that's okay. I'll get there eventually.
I looked over and it was like you were like Moses walking like.
I was like, I'll just take my staff and get down the river one way or another.
The water was splitting in front of you.
Dry as a bone. Then we got some veggies to stir fry in there with that, and some rice.
Yeah.
So get that. It's pretty much. It's all ready to go. It's not like a long cooked rice or anything. It's pretty much already there. You just got to heat it up, and we're having dinner.
Great. And we finished earlier today than we thought.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're such a good trip planner, Mr. Cal.
No, I'm not, because I'm worried about tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Why worry about tomorrow?
That's true.
Live for today. It sounds like a song lyric or something.
Yeah. I'm about to sing.
I just want to sing. Sing. No.
That's a Monty Python scene.
There you go.
And you chose lunchtime really appropriate today. Because we're going to continue on, and you said, well, we should eat now because we have a chance.
See, that's the wisdom of Mummy.
Yeah?
Mummy's like, you don't make that poor Mr. Cowan go all day without eating like you make me do. That's bad. Bad man. Don't be a bad man. And then I heard her lovely voice in my head, and I thought, let's give Mr. Cowan a sandwich. I'll have one too. We'll just enjoy the sandwiches and then carry on. Yep. And it was timely, yeah.
It was, because after that we went through hell.
It was kind of like we were I don't want to do this anymore.
Can you imagine eating our sandwiches during the bugs and actually waiting that creek, that dried out river, Mississippi bloodbath?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Mississippi used to be a river. Yeah, that would have been a little like, well, part of the tears were like, why are the bugs biting me so bad, Kevin? I thought we were in Southern Ontario.
Oh man. Well, we survived the day. Looks good. That's marinated.
It's marinated. That's a word no one forgets.
Look at that.
Yum.
Ooh, looks good.
Okay. Stir it all together. We got some rice, chicken, veggies. It's a one-way ticket to Num Num. I was just looking at Mr. Topo Maps, and we did about 15 clicks today, and I was just counting up roughly how many clicks for tomorrow. So, but we got one more portage tomorrow than we did today.
Yeah, well, we didn't know. This kind of was a weird day today. I was a little apprehensive of continuing.
Is that because the bugs were eating you up?
Oh, God. The amount of bugs on your face at one point.
I know. I was screaming like, ah, get him up, get him up.
It was one of those times where I go, do I tell him or just let it go?
Or just see him wither away slowly.
Yeah, you've lost weight today.
I look very svelte all of a sudden.
You look like a vampire. To start off that trip on the cliffs, right? That was amazing because you've never been there.
No, that was, I mean, I've driven past on the highway, but, and so you kind of get a little glimpse here and there, but paddling past the rocks was fantastic. You get the, the sheer size of them is obviously right there, and the pictographs, even the way the rocks are angled, like the layers in the rocks. I wish I knew more geology than I could explain, the different pieces there, but pretty impressive. So yeah,
It was cool. And then the Marble Lake is quite well named.
yeah, like the white. It's yeah, like there's no doubt about it. It's like holy jumping. That is like just marble, like you see in the fancy palaces that, like where Kevin lives.
I know, famous author and all. That's what happens. So, and speaking of that, we met some people that knew us.
Well, they knew you. Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Well, Ann and I met our first canoeists on the Mississippi River. Awesome, eh? So Isabel, you like going tripping?
Yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. So what are some of the trips you've done?
Kawarthas, Massasauga, Naganosh.
That's good. That's good. Yeah, yeah. And you like the canoe?
Yeah.
She talks more than I do. I'm telling you. Well, it's great meeting you.
They were very lovely. They were a couple of paddlers. In fact, the person in the stern was learning how to stern, and that was really cool to see. And they'd been out on a bunch of trips, to various places already. So
Yeah, Isabel. You would think I know how to spell Isabel.
yes,
She wanted me to sign her pamphlet thing she had, and I did. And who knew Isabel started with an I? I felt so bad. She goes, "Yeah, you're right. You can't even spell my name. You're not real. Keep going."
do you feel ashamed?
It's true that the second portage was we never found it. We walked it. Well, waded it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In between the wading and the tiptoeing through the poison ivy.
There was a lot of poison ivy.
Yeah.
Is it the mosquitoes itching or is it the poison ivy? But the water level was extremely low.
Yeah.
So I think things will change further down because there's more dams. I think maybe something's going on with this area. I don't know. But then you got to try your rope.
Oh, the bowline bags.
Yeah.
And, open them up, pull out the rope, line down one of the little drops, saved us having the portage, and at the end, stuff the rope back in, off we go.
Yeah, no, it really worked. I got to say, the rocks, the marble was kind of cool, but the majority of rocks on these rapids, you don't want to bang into them.
Yeah. I mean, there was some rock formations where along the shoreline that looked like a sculpture that you'd see out front of the AGO. They were like pretty cool. Either that or in a Dr. Seuss book.
There was one I was aroused with.
Well, you're naughty.
Not nice sight.
Oh, it's okay.
It's okay, but it's infested with millipedes.
The millipedes are there trying to carry your gear around.
Yeah. Whoa.
Poor Kevin, what have you got? Like, is it too many legs?
Yeah, it's a millipede.
I mean, like, what's the troublesome aspect? Is it the fact that, it tickles when it crawls across your body?
Don't do that. No.
No?
No.
You seem to be cringing over it.
Don't think that's funny in the middle of the night. No, that's not going to happen. All right, well, night one on our Mississippi journey.
Yeah. So far, so good.
Yep.
Yeah. Stay tuned. One of the instructions for this air mat is to blow in to the inflator bag, and that's kind of like, well, I thought one of the ideas was to not put your breath with condensation into the inside of your mat. So as an alternative, I brought a different bag that I don't have to blow into to blow up the mat. So.
Okay, well, I didn't have the light on, so I just thought you had a blow-up doll.
Well, so obviously Kevin became concerned when...
No, I was jealous.
No, jealous when I was having far more interesting experience than he thought I should.
And we both we've taken our medication for the night, our painkillers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Painkillers, probably about 8 other medications at our age.
All right, well, there we go. What was your best part of the day today?
That, probably the part where, you know, I thought the river was choked up and not going to let us out.
And then we finally found her.
And the bugs were going to carry us away. And then finally, oh, it opened up, but there's open water out there. We're alive. We're gonna live.
We survived the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
Day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was where life got lovely.
And we have whippoorwills to no, what's it called?
Serenade.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, tonight.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too bad. At my age, my hearing is so bad. I'll just take your word for it, Kevin.
I did. I mentioned a bunch of species that were calling off tonight. And you're like, yeah, whatever, I can hear them. All right, night one. Here we go. We got blow-up dolls and whippoorwills.
And next will be the snoring competition.
Oh, God, that's right. Jesus. Okay, I'm going to bed now.
See, you can wake each other up.
Yeah, no, I know. Oh, God. Well, it's a good thing. We're just doing a weekend warrior thing. We're only out for 2 nights.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Well, no, not really. Yeah.
Someone lied to me. I thought this was like a week-plus event.
Oh, what's next? Oh, you just blew up there.
I blew my...
Oh, you're all right.
Something bad happened.
Okay, good night, everybody.